Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hardly Heroes. How are my two favorite players in the world doing today?
We're good. Thank you for finally saying that.
We're back. We're back.
Yes.
And it's time to stop messing around
Do a
like
bit of tomb
children
raiding.
in this city and get out into the big wide world.
I want to just say and remind everyone that this guy literally said, "Hey, this guy died. He was really important. Go raid his tomb and bring me everything important back."
Mm-hmm.
He has no idea what the fuck's there. He's just he's an idiot.
He's dumb as fuck, this guy.
Now,
100.
this is an interesting thing because that is an excellent observation because he did say, go to this tomb and bring me everything. So there are a couple different things that could mean. Either A, he just hopes that there's something, but he doesn't have any idea. Or B, he thinks there's something specific there that he wants, but he doesn't want to tell you what it is. Or C, he's just sending you off to your deaths far, far away. So it looks like you ran away and never came back. And then he can like lambast you to the whole world and talk about what cowards you are. So which do you think it is? Is he an idiot? Does he have a genius plan? Or is he just trying to fuck you again?
Well, I'm going to answer this. Go on, you, and then I'm going to answer it in character.
Yeah, I think he's an idiot because this guy is just learning how to read, which was something that you pointed out, that he's still struggling with the words. He just comes from a humble background as like a farmer or a miner. So I think he really just is like sitting on the top of his fucking kingdom and just like, you know what? Yeah, I want all that shit. Like, bring it to me. And he just has no idea.
You think he built a criminal empire, but is a dumbass somehow?
But this is what you're not getting, Neil. These are the Copperheads, right? They're all from Copper Hill. They didn't grow up in the city. They're not civilized folks. They're out from the fucking ant fields, living out there beyond the hills with all the hillbillies. Like, yeah, he's the smartest Copperhead. But I mean, like, what does that mean? You know, that's basically nothing. So I'm saying this to Pigeon. I think we make a swift exit after this speech. Yeah. We agree to do it. We leave. As we're walking out of the Copper Hill territory, I'm mumbling this under my breath, you know, like these guys, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know what's in there. We just got to be seen to be doing something. We need time to think. Let's go back. Let's get our shit and let's leave.
Yeah. This guy doesn't know what he doesn't know what's there. I mean, I don't know what's there. If he knew what was there, he'd tell us, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to bring back.
Here's the other thing, though. Like, I know that we're pretty badass, and obviously
I check if we're being followed.
Yeah, as you walk down the street, you are absolutely being followed. There are people in the streets that are just like kind of observing you, but there's also a couple of folks who have left the temple, what was it called? The New Hill Temple, and are now walking behind you from a nice distance, not an aggressive distance, but definitely we're walking behind you.
I give him a finger.
Fuck you.
We can both acknowledge that we notice that we're being followed, and acknowledge it with each other without seeming obvious about it anyway. If you give him the finger, that's fine. Yeah, fine.
I give him a finger.
Listen, I know that we're pretty badass, and it's got out that, you know, I killed Carlo Vallejo in, you know, single combat, but this guy, is he stupid enough to think that we could do this?
Do what? I mean, we're just stealing. We've done that 100 times before.
Yeah, but if I said to you, like, break into the keep, I say, looking over to the center of town, and rob the tomb of the previous king, you think you'd be able to do that?
I could pick the lock, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but there's more to it than just the lock, right? Like, he is stupid, maybe, but maybe he does. Like, would he even really think that we could possibly do this? Maybe it's just like he doesn't care if we die. Might as well try. But if it was something he really cared about, like if there was something specific that he really wanted, would he really send us to do it for him?
Maybe he does want us to die.
I think, yeah, you know, he doesn't know what's in there. He thinks he's sending us to our death, but...
Well, he's got eyes and ears in here, so we can at least
of course.
get out of here and go check it out, yeah?
Yeah, sure, then let's leave the city, we'll go towards Fortune. His little spies, you know, we notice them, we'll keep an eye on them, we'll know when they've dropped off. He might have some people in Fortune. I don't know what it's like there,
You think he's got some family in Copper Hill? Are they still living there?
My eyes light up. No, that's an idea. You know, a hostage exchange, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my idea. Yeah.
Let's. I think we should go and pack our stuff and we should leave. Like we're going to do what he said.
Can I
And
get a
even, like,
horse?
how much money? I lose track of where all our money is, Neil. Do we still have all our money?
It's all in our house hoard.
It's all in your existing
rich.
lair except for what you have on yourself, which should
Yeah,
be
we're
on your
rich.
character sheets. Yeah.
Yes, like we should get horses for sure then.
Yeah, well, let's
100%.
get horses. That's probably, I think last time it was covered in our expenses. And if not, it should be covered in this month's expenses because these people aren't going to be here for this month's expenses. Drinking's going down. We're going on a mission, blah, blah, blah.
Good point. Although we're going to be traveling on the road, which requires lodgings.
Or you can just tell us how much it is. I don't think
Well,
money matters too
we'll
much.
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay,
You head
so we
back
go-
to your lair where all the dwarves are working in order to like deposit your stuff, get your other gear that you need, check your
Yeah.
purse balances. You gotta logistic size yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So you head
Yeah,
back.
absolutely.
And as you wade through the storm of dwarves and they're cursing and they're also singing. They're always fucking singing working songs together.
That's cool.
Pigeon loves that, yeah.
Yeah. You find, sitting in the main room of your house where the dwarves are going in and out in that area that used to be the bar, which has now been like completely torn out while the construction's done. But a small table's been put aside and there's Lemon sitting on the table, knees crossed, watching the dwarves come in and out, trying to, get their goat, just tease them a little bit, just kind of annoy the workers or entertain herself by pestering the workers. And as the two of you pop in, she hops off the table and kind of excitedly scampers over to you and like, well, how'd it go? How'd the meeting go?
Well,
I look at Pigeon. I'm about to talk, and then I remember that I caught them having sex and Pigeon's talking, so I let him.
you know,
Well, take
baby,
it.
we're gonna. Me and the boys are already outside the city. We just came back to grab some things. We're going on a bit of a quest, and we're gonna need you to stay here and watch the dwarves.
Yeah, that's right.
You're all going somewhere? What's the deal?
I can't tell you here.
Yeah, with us out of the city.
She like grabs you by your shirt a little bit and pulls you closer and is like, well, you can tell me somewhere else. What's going on?
We gotta go.
Tell Lemon the
I'll
secrets.
whisper to her.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta go raid a tomb, but we'll be back in a few weeks, okay?
Where's
It's,
everyone else? What's going on?
They're already outside the city. We had a good meeting with the Copperheads, and they're bringing us in.
Wow, you move real fast.
Oh, we move fast, baby.
I give her a wink.
I head down into the basement to get our stuff to leave them alone.
Yeah, you gotta
Dwarves.
muscle your way through with some singing dwarves, hauling rocks in and
how's
out
it-
and hauling tools
I don't want
down.
to interrupt the ERP, but I would like an update on how things are going down in the lair as well before we leave.
No, yeah, there's no ERP. That was it.
Oh, that was it. Oh,
That was it,
yeah.
You were just getting me going as well. Damn it.
You ever had construction done on your house before?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So as it begins, it looks like hell, right?
Yes.
Like up until everything is almost done,
It's
it
shit,
just looks
yeah.
bad, and you're like, oh my god, what have we gotten ourselves into? And so that's the phase that you're in. Like you're coming downstairs and everything's torn apart. There's dwarves everywhere. They're hauling rocks. They're dumping shit everywhere. You're like looking at this giant gaping hole that they're making in your nice little lair. All the traps are disabled.
Okay. There's the giant hole.
Yeah, there's,
I stand at the edge of the giant hole.
He's like,
yeah,
"This
there's
is
ladders
nice."
as dwarves are going up and down.
Guys.
They're kind of elbowing you out of the way.
Guys.
Someone's
Guys,
yelling
who-
at you that like,
who's in
turn that light
who's in-
off. You're
Wait,
ruining our night vision.
Who's in charge of the skeleton? Who's in charge of the skeleton pit? Is it you?
People just kind of look at you and they're all laborers. They just go to their work. You can find someone eventually. Someone will be like, talk to that guy, and you'll find
Yes.
a dwarf who looks up at you, kind of annoyed that you've arrived, and then it's like, oh, his client
Hello
hoists
there.
his overalls.
I'm Luther. Nice to meet you.
Howdy.
I shake his hand. Sorry, that's not clear. I offer him a handshake.
He sticks a grubby hand above his head.
I grab it. Ooh, big paws you've got there.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I was just wondering, will this be the skeleton pit? I say, pointing at the big hole.
No.
No? Is that going to be further down or?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. Do you know what? Doesn't matter. We're going to be leaving for a little bit. I just need to get into the into the treasury area back there. We're going to be leaving for a little bit. I assume that, like, you're part of the management structure. Is somebody in charge?
Bunyan,
like, is it
the day shift foreman?
good? Yeah. Well, anyway, Lemon, the gal upstairs, she's not really in charge, but she's like a little bit in charge. Okay, so don't make any changes to the plans because of what she says, but she's going to be hanging around.
Not really in charge, but a little in charge.
Like, she's in, you know, she's keeping an eye on things, make sure they're running smoothly. But if she tells you, like, don't do that, do this instead, don't listen to her. Yep.
Got it. So
Cool.
she's you want to make her feel important without letting her have any real power.
That's it. You got it, Bunyan. Nice one. Are you all right to shoot that one up the dwarf chain?
Most of my men don't speak common. Real easy to solve that problem, he says with a nod and a wink.
Good. All right. Well, can I check in on my things?
He gestures to let's see. The area where you normally store your loot is now a construction site.
Yeah.
So where have we parked chests
I was
full
assuming
of wealth?
that they might have built out a little storage chamber at the start to put stuff in that was out of the way.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, because like you can't literally just have like thousands of gold lying around. It has to be sectioned off somewhere.
And I did pay
Right.
the foreman a ton of money to make sure that it's not
So I
fucked
think-
with.
If you're looking at the map, I think this
Yeah.
spot right here, which was used to just be a trap with a crossbow bolt,
No.
is probably where you've just like deposited your chests and everything.
Okay.
And there is
Cool.
a dwarf standing guard in front of that door.
Marvelous.
Yeah. And
Okay,
as you
so-
go to approach the door, the
Yes.
dwarf like picks up the hammer that's next to him and says to you, "Hey, construction site's that way." Obviously not recognizing you as one of the founding members of SEAL Team 6.
I look around. Did I lose half of my legs on the way up here? Do I look like a dwarf to you?
You look like a ninny, and ninny's going the hole.
Listen, bud.
Nick, don't
That was-
fuck this
that was
up and
good
make him
deli-
think all humans are in this.
That was good
in
delivery.
this
That was
house.
good. That was good delivery. I'm one of the clients. I need to get some stuff from in the room. My name's Luther. I'm part of SEAL Team 6.
He looks at you. Uh-huh. And if you're lying to me, it's going to be my head on the table when the real clients show up and all their money's gone. So you come back with some proof of your clientele-ness. You get that eraser fella over here or something, and we're good. He eyes you, protectively guarding all of your
Good.
stuff and doing a good
Yeah,
job.
good. That is good.
Good. That's good.
It's annoying.
I take a moment to think. I consider, damn, I brought this role play on myself, and now look, I'm stuck. I can't access my things. And then I say, listen, I didn't catch your name. My name's Luther. Nice to meet you.
My name's Wellington. Nelson
Nice to meet you,
Wellington.
Wellington. It's a very regal name you've got there. Are you from Stromheim, Nelson Wellington?
Well, that's where your mother is, so that's where I like to hang out most of the time, but no, it ain't my home. I come from far to the north, beyond lands you've ever seen.
Amazing. Well, thanks for taking the time to come all the way down here and stand in front of my door.
He's shook. That was kindness. He was expecting more aggression. You're welcome.
Good. You won't know, I guess, because you're not from around here. But there's this on the other side of town. There's these guys called the Copperheads
Uh-huh.
and a racer, and to be honest, some of the other guys as well. They've got some beef with those guys. They've got in some trouble.
Uh-huh.
And a racer ain't here. Now it's all good because you guys are working.
Oh.
We already paid, and you're looking after the stuff here. But me and the kid, if you remember, actually that's a good point. You might not recognize me, but you probably remember the kid, right? Weird looking, he's got big eyes, bulging eyes.
Ooh, I'm gonna need to make a die roll on this one. He nods. Oh yeah. Tall guy, skinny, big eyes. Yep.
That's it. If I go and get him, can you let us in?
I saw him with the eraser feller. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I'll be right back. Nice to meet you, Nelson Wellington.
Mm-hmm.
I go up and get Pigeon. I peek
down.
my head up through the door. Is he still like flirting with Lemon, or is that ended
We're
now?
just probably singing to the dwarves.
Okay, cool. Psst. Pigeon,
Yeah.
come on.
All right.
They don't recognize me.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I come down.
hey, Bunyan.
I shrug.
Bunyan's like not guarding the door. It's the wrong
Yeah,
dwarf.
it's the wrong,
That's the wrong
wrong
dwarf.
dwarf.
That's Nelson Wellington.
Oh, shit.
That's-
They are, you know.
I know.
Hey, Nelson. It's me. It's Pigeon.
This guy with you, this tall man,
Yeah,
this tall
just
drink of
him, though.
handsome.
Yeah, just him.
Thanks,
Don't let
buddy.
Lemon into here.
Yeah,
Don't let
don't
her
let-
in here.
Don't let her in here.
I thought she was with you too.
Yeah, she is, but I don't want her taking all the money. I'll just give her some money before we leave.
That's it. Yeah, she's not part
You know
of
how,
Steel
you know,
Team
women
6.
are, right?
He nods.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
he knows.
Always hiding
Mhm.
coins in their beards.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, I got a spouse. I make the money guarding the doors. What do? Spend the money. Oh, the kids need more food. Oh, the kids need new clothes.
I'll go in
Like,
there.
what's wrong with the kids' current clothes?
Exactly. You know,
That's all
if
I'm
it's
saying.
got, if it hides your junk, it don't matter how many holes it's got. When I was a kid growing up in Tharnham, we didn't have good stuff like that.
I mean, especially if you're like living in. Sorry if this is presumptuous, but if you're like living underground, it's not like there's a lot of lights. You know, it's going to be dirty anyway. So
Look, man, the Grell came. They started ripping people to bits. We made do
my
with
God.
what we had.
I'm
weird.
taking
There was a whole
stuff
undead
off
army
the
attacked this city, by the way.
board.
Not just some weird floating guys. I got
You
an
ain't
army
never
of
seen
skeletons.
no Grell. Those skeletons stayed on the other side of the walls. The Grell were in our houses. They were up in the ceilings, drifting down on you in your sleep, grabbing you with their tentacles and just levitating you into the pits. The upper
fuck?
pits. Oh, it ain't nothing like the undead. We sat out that siege here nice and pretty. You know, the Grell, their big old bulging brains, their big beaks gripping your favorite woman.
Yo, what are you talking? What is this thing you're talking about?
Don't worry about it. You're not headed north. It's fine.
Damn right, I'm not heading north.
All right.
Beaks?
He opens the door and lets
Brains?
you. Big old
the
Grell
ceiling?
brains. Hide in the shadows up in the caves. They like crypts. They like underground places. Lurking in the dark. Descending on you when you're not looking up. Dwarves and
That's a good-
dogs, they say. Can't look up. And it ain't it our burden.
Let's just say in theory, like say the three of us. I point to him and Pigeon and me. If we were in a room and there was like if we went in there and there was a Grell in there, like would it get him because he's the tallest? Is that how it works? Like if I went to a dwarf place, I'd be like guaranteed to get got by a Grell because I've got like 2 feet on you.
Yeah, buddy. That's it. They're extremely predictable creatures. They just go after the tallest things 100% of the time.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
I can see why you guys like stay so.
Yeah, well, that's why we breed our kids real short, like, is to keep them away from the Grell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm gonna get some golden stuff, but keep watching the door.
I'm taking the Carlo Vallejo necklace.
Okay.
I took a bunch of money, already took it off the sheet.
Okay.
Okay.
gonna
How much
hand-
did you take?
It's already off. You don't have to worry about it.
No, but how much did you take?
Oh, okay. 100 platinum, 200 gold, 2,000 silver. Or sorry, 200 silver.
Okay, I'm just gonna take some for myself as well.
I'm handing the dwarf 5 platinum.
This is your money, not your wife's money, okay? You spend this how you want.
He'll be glad you said that. He takes the money.
Good. Always good to have friends. I grab my leather armor. I put that in my bag, and the Carlos Vallejo necklace. I don't think we never did anything with this, so I'm gonna hold on to this.
All right.
I think it could be useful.
What is
Excellent.
that? His like his Slayer's necklace.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm actually gonna give it to you because you're the one who people would believe,
Yeah. Okay. So
I hand it
I'll
to you.
put that in my bag.
Pigeon, since this is money that you are carrying on you, would you put it in your personal wealth
sorry.
instead of your
Yeah, it was
wealth
in
and
the wrong
hoard?
spot.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We want to know your encumbrance since you're
100%.
gonna be traveling over land and shit.
That's what I'm working with right now.
Okay. We'll go back to the. I think we go to a stable, arrange the horses to pick them up in the morning, and we'll go and sleep at the inn that we've been staying at, and then leave from there. So I will put my leather armor on before I leave.
So you,
Neil?
Yeah,
you
I'll
go
wear
from
my
the
leather
lair
armor, too.
to your inn in armor.
No. I take my armor back with me to the inn, and in the morning when I pick up my horse, I'll be in armor and I'm gonna leave that morning.
Okay, cool. And just so we can stay on top of everything and expectations are set across the board. Leather armor is bulky. It doesn't just fit in nice and neatly in a backpack. It has to wrap all the way around you. So you can carry your armor with you, but it's tied to your bag, and it's a pretty big obvious thing that you would have. You can haul it from one place to another without raising alarms. You might just be moving merchandise. But it is apparent and it is obvious and is large.
It's a piece of leather armor. We're not going to attack to the street for carrying a suit of leather armor. I mean,
It would be unlikely, unless someone just says, "Hey, they have something valuable on their backs that's worth 15 gold, and I want it." But that seems rare.
I mean, we're carrying around hundreds of gold, so
Yeah, well, they can't see the hundreds of gold is the thing.
I have 5 topaz gems, each worth 500 gold on me as well.
Oh,
okay.
But I'm not showcasing that.
We've got enough money with us, I think.
Yeah,
right.
we're good.
Yeah, that's good.
Those gems are I don't know what we need. There's a merchant selling a magic sword. Let's sell them this.
Yeah. Okay. I will that evening, Neil, try and find someone that knows about the surrounding area and just try and get a brief outline of how we get to Fortune.
you want a guide is what you're looking for, and those are things that can be found and purchased.
Oh, like a guide who's going to take us with
Well,
him?
either a guide who's going to take you, or someone who you who does offer that service, but you can pay them less money just to get directions.
I want a guide who will take us. Let's add a duder. Why not?
I don't know. Yeah,
You against it, Nick?
I'm not necessarily against it.
It's nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Maybe Neil will come up with a good one.
Yeah, true. Okay. He could be cool, I suppose.
New Jeeves, maybe they'll
I just
join
don't
the
want to
party.
do. There's he's more likely to be helpful than unhelpful, I suppose.
The worst case is he's a little unhelpful. It's not gonna ruin.
Well, we don't want him ratting us out to the guards in Fortune if he finds out what we're trying to do.
Yeah, but I'm very much under the if you pay people enough money, they're gonna be your friends.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So it's
Well,
later
and
in
if
the
we can
afternoon.
find a guide in the in Rusty's Hook or around the Pitman area as well, at least then we'll be amongst friends.
Yeah, could we actually try to find a pitman guide? We know the bar.
That's a good point. They must
When
have
you
someone who
say
knows the way.
pitman guide, you just mean someone who frequents that area that would be a guide, not someone who's like an actual member of the pitman, right? Or do you mean a full-fledged member?
Essentially, either.
I'm down with a full-fledged member. I think that's what we'll go for, and if we can't find that, then we'll just get a random.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, we can trust them at least.
Yeah, I feel like we're very trusting with them. They could actually have useful skills. Now, we're not asking for a DM give us, you know, a level 20 to do this for us, but
It would
I
also
think on
help
a mission
us.
of this type, it makes sense.
Yeah, and if we just went to the Pitman now and tried to explain what happened and asked for help, they wouldn't send
They're
a
not
guy.
going to want to get involved, but
If we bring this guy along and we make friends with him and tell him over the course of the journey, you know, he might be sympathetic to our plight.
But also, if we ask the pitmen, hey, can you help us break these people out? They're probably not going to do that because they don't want to get in a gang war. But if we say, like, hey, you know, we have this mission that we want to go on. Will you help us out? They're probably down.
If we pay.
Well, proxy wars.
Yeah. But we don't want to sell the Pitman on the idea that we're going to break into Count Vicious's tomb, because we might not do that.
Correct. But that's the goal, right?
But we need a guide to Fortune. We've got some business there.
Yeah.
And we think you guys, you know.
We want a maid member. We don't go to Rusty's. We go to the other one.
You go to the grimy gremlin.
Yeah, the grimy gremlin.
Wasn't it the grimy goblin? No?
No,
No,
it was
I think it
Gremlin.
Was it gremlin? Okay.
Was it? Yeah.
It was definitely Gremlin. All right, so we go to the Gremlin, which is not our shopping around in the middle of town looking for a guide music. It is very different music.
We got a ton of money on us too. Good.
So on the way there, then, what do you? How much do you want to tell them? I'm saying to Pigeon. How much? How much do you want to tell them?
I don't think we tell them that we're doing this because the Copperheads have all of our friends in custody. But I do think we tell them we want a guide to fortune and we got a mark there.
We've got some business and fortune. We've not done the journey before. We need a guide, someone we can trust, someone who we can speak freely around.
Yeah. And if they want in on the mark, then they could be a member and get a even cut.
Okay.
Look, 4 ways.
Always.
1,
I point at myself.
2,
Point at you.
them 3, 4 for the Copperheads. But we don't tell them who the 4th member is. We'll just tell them the 4th person was the person who brought us onto it,
Okay.
which is true.
Yeah. Let's have a think. What skills don't we have? Well, I mean, we could purposely
need
ask for someone.
Someone who's like a brawler, like a fighter. Because between you and me, I think we can get. I can lockpick anything.
Yeah.
You can
I
listen pretty
disguise
well.
or whatever.
We
yeah.
can climb. You can disguise. I think we need like a kind of like a
Heavy.
fighter.
Okay, I think that's fine because we need a fighter for the journey as well,
Yeah.
and we can pay their cost to travel. We can get them a horse. We can pay for their rations and their lodgings and stuff like that.
We can pay for all their shit. Yeah.
Okay, let's. All right, that we get our story ready as we approach the alleyway on the way into the grimy gremlin.
All right. You enter the grimy gremlin. The door guard there has been alerted to who you are by now and just kind of lets you on in. It's much the same as when you last saw it. Much smaller than the Rusty's Hook.
Yeah.
Much quieter, more subdued. But also the people here emanate a lot more respect. Like they're not here having a good time, getting drunk with their friends, looking for fun things to do.
Yeah.
They're here having like business conversations. This is more of a gentleman's lounge where things get done rather than like a place to have a good time.
I
know?
hand the doorman 2 gold.
He takes it.
The last time we came here, we had an introduction, right? There was somebody who was already handling our business for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we go and sit down.
Yeah.
Is it table service or do you go up to the bar?
There's a bar. You would go to the bar yourself. I suppose you could try and call the bartender over.
Same lady as before.
I do. Let me roll my dice. Yes, same lady as before.
Super badass warrior lady. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got like leather armor and weapons strapped to it while she tends bar, sort of functioning as bartender and also problem solver if need be.
Any chance I can remember her name?
Give me an intelligence check? No, charisma
Charisma?
check. Yeah.
29.
29 is a success. Her name, he said, looking up, is Fiona.
Okay, cool. Write that down. Okay, I go up to the bar. Do you want to come, Pigeon, or do you want to stay at the table?
I'll come. I think it's fine.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go and take a seat on the bar, Neil, if you can.
Yep, you can sit at the bar. Not a problem.
Okay, cool.
There's a couple stools there. Fiona takes a look at the two of you. Doesn't say
Fiona?
anything. Gives a simple nod.
We order some drinks. Let's have a drink before we start to open business.
Yeah, the drinks are overpriced. It's part of your monthly budget, though, so don't worry about it. Everything here is a lot more expensive. And, yeah.
I wait for her to ask us if we want another drink at some point when we finished our first ones.
Yeah. When your first drinks are finished and an appropriate amount of time has passed based on your drinking habits, she comes round and says, another round, gentlemen?
Yeah, we'd like another drink.
Business.
But yeah, if we could talk some business as well.
Of course.
So I lean in a little bit and say, we're thinking about making a trip northeast to Fortune. And I never done the journey before. We're looking for someone to come along with us, someone who knows the way, who we can trust, who can handle themselves. We've got
muscle.
We've got a job out there, a big one. You know, we can pay for a guide, or if you want to know more details, we can.
In theory, we want a guide and some muscle.
Yeah. We've got
On
coin.
the split.
I'm sure you can find plenty of cannon fodder in Rusty's Hook.
We need someone we can trust. This is sensitive. Those guys hanging around Rusty's Hook. As soon as a bit of danger goes their way, they'll turn tail. Chop us in. All those Dracissians out there in Fortune, right? We need someone we can trust.
You know, in this trade, in this city, trust is a hard thing to come by.
How do you think we got here? I say, looking around.
As much as you need someone to trust, anyone working with you needs to be able to trust you in return. Fortune's a long way from home, and there ain't nothing out there but cow pies and corpses. What could possibly be of value in that terrible backwater, that hellhole, that place of bones?
I looked at Luther.
First off, if you want insurance, there's currently about 300 of your dwarves surrounding my veritable treasure hoard. And if I were to betray one of your men, and that were to get back to you,
I think you have
presumably
a fundamental misunderstanding. I don't have any men that I can deploy to you. I might be able to help you find another independent contractor at best.
I understand.
But I wouldn't be taking any liability or insurance out on anyone.
But the pitmen look after each other. If I betray that trust, then you can't trust me anymore. Our ongoing business arrangements fall apart.
I understand.
As for what's out there, like I said, it's sensitive information. If you can point me in the direction of the person, I'm happy to tell them what the plan is, but you know, the less people that know, the better.
The worst case is if it doesn't work out, like we get out there and there isn't anything, they'll make a few thousand gold. The best case is they'll make a lot more than that.
A few thousand gold?
I think maybe he overspoke there, not a few thousand gold.
Oh, sorry. A few, maybe, a few hundred.
We could talk, a couple of 100 gold just for the journey. We'll pay for a horse. We'll pay for costs. If they want to be looped into the deal, well, then we can rethink about the fee, but...
When are you leaving?
As soon as possible. Tomorrow, ideally. Maybe the day after. We got people watching us.
She's like, yeah, everybody's always doing that.
Yeah, she gives a bit of a long sigh, casts her eyes down at the bar before her, like she's trying to run through things in her head. Says, that short of notice, I don't know. There's not a roster of bench warmers sitting around ready to be called up. I could make some inquiries, leave some messages, maybe in 3 weeks' time, get some meetings set up for you. The caliber of person you're asking about doesn't really take business overnight. You know what I mean? They're not just idling.
Yeah.
I think if you want someone who can go fast, you're looking for expendable merchandise. If you want someone who's extremely skillful and knows what they're doing, they're probably going to be real careful organizing with you. They're probably going to take some time and do their own poking ins and intelligence gathering.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Quality
then.
work is
Second,
hard to find.
we don't need a genius out here. We just need someone who knows the ways of fortune, who can handle themselves in a fight, and who's going to keep their mouth closed.
I can get you someone that knows the way to fortune and that you can trust. But
Okay, well that's 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
but I
That's good.
wouldn't trust them in a fight. I expect them
Okay.
to run at the first sign of danger.
We can find maybe someone else who can fight.
Okay.
All right, we can work with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come back in 2 days.
Okay, but that's the latest. We got to be seen to be moving.
Well, I'll bring them by in 2 days,
Okay.
and you can make your pitch to them when they're here.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so we drink.
Slide
our next
5
drink.
gold across the table. I assume, this is.
A finder's fee of some kind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She will slide the 5 gold on top of whatever you paid her for drinks into her hand and drop it into her pocket. I'd say so. Is there anything else you want to share about fortune? It's nice when friends keep each other in the loop about things. And it's known as a place where there's not much going on, just grasses and cows and a couple of horses. New king from out of town. Is that what we're going after here? The Dracissian king, the new count, this Count Marshall.
No, it's not quite that. It's just
because that's a dangerous thing. I don't know if you know the stories about Count Marshall, but he's not
after him or anything.
What do you mean? It's just some old guy, right? But no, we're not. It's not that. It's well, what do you mean?
I just want to make sure you're not biting off more than you can chew. Count Marshall's a dangerous man.
Yeah, all rich guys are dangerous.
We're not after any people.
Okay.
Let's just say we've heard that in the upheaval, some things maybe got misplaced.
She broadens into a wide smile. Well, isn't that always the best? Times of chaos, things go missing. It's always nice to find what was lost.
Exactly.
I know.
Cheers.
Okay.
I clink glasses.
Yeah. She'll pour herself a small shot and cheers with you.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess that's it. You can come back in
What do
2
you think,
days.
Nick, during this time, find some muscle.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was gonna say. We spent a lot of time at Rusty's Hook. There's got to have been someone there who looks like they could handle themselves in a fight.
Well,
Or
Pigeon brings this up.
Hey, you know that necklace we have?
Yeah.
What if we give it and trade it to the Demon Slayers for them to give us a few of their, like 2 people who got muscle and they can come help us? You think they'd do it?
I mean, what do you think they're gonna say when they see you with that necklace?
Where'd you get it? And we'll just say we robbed it off the guy who killed Carlo Vallejo.
I mean, everyone knows that I killed Carlo Vallejo.
I don't think
single
anybody
combat.
knows that.
What do you mean?
I don't think you want people knowing that. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just to be safe, then maybe you should go and ask them.
Yeah.
Just in case they know me,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, let's consider that. I mean, because here's the I think there's a good point, because they might be the only fighters in the city.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. These are like the people who used to be town guards, who are now the Demon Slayers. And they're probably the only trained knights,
Yeah, because who else would be a fighter? Like, who's training? Is there a fighting school of some sort, Neil?
There used to be fighting schools in the city for certain, mostly in the inner city, but not only in the inner city. There are probably some that have been kept up, mostly in the Demon Slayer area. Like, if you want trained fighters, you go to the Demon Slayers.
Okay, yeah.
That's where you're going to get the people who have been teaching these things, who've been following up on the traditions, who are used to being the town guards. The demon slayers are the martial part of the world.
Okay, so if you go there, what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna ask to speak with, you know, the town, whoever's leading the demon slayers right now. Not like like who's on shift, you know?
Okay, well, I think you got to go to Neil. I'd say the name of the pub that I think is where the demon slayer, like the version of Rusty's Hook for the demon slayers.
You have that local history proficiency.
Yeah.
Roll it.
Okay. 20.
You know,
Don't
I think
get
you
a
grew
+1
up on
for
the
living
other
here
side
my
of.
whole life.
I think you grew up on the other side of town from the Demon Slayers, and you know a couple of taverns in the area, but you don't actually know which one is sort of their spot. Like this is as far from they're literally the opposite side of town from where you grew up.
I'm just gonna walk around near the walls and look for who has the necklace on, because there should be someone. And
Well,
I'll
there
just
is this
talk to
place
them.
called the DS headquarters, I guess. that you
Don't
could
know
go
if we
to.
know where that is. Do we?
Oh,
You do. It is.
On the
It's
map.
their headquarters.
That's
like
where I'll go.
Yeah, it's not a training school. It is like the heat of everything.
I go there.
wait. Well, what are you gonna? If you're gonna loop them in, what are you gonna say? You need to
I'm
entice
gonna
them.
say that we'd like to give this to them, no strings attached, and we'd really appreciate it if they'd come and send 2 people to guard us on our journey that we're about to go on.
Okay.
Because we can't, we can't be like go in there and here if you give us this, we'll give you this.
Is this still in the Grimy Gremlin when you're having this conversation?
No, I think this is like as we're walking through the streets.
Okay.
Yeah, if you think it's through the streets, it's fine too.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we would. I think we would feel comfortable talking about this in the Grimy Gremlin.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's the streets in the
It's the
evening.
streets. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, I'll head over there right now.
All right, I'll wait
Will
for you
you
at
be
the.
nearby if I need?
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'll stick with you. I think I'll stop in a tavern nearby them.
Right. Perfect. Well, it is evening time. You make your way through the streets from the Grimy Gremlin down to the main boulevard, through the abandoned area where I just roll a quick encounter check. Low chance, but it is nighttime now. And like, whew, okay. Percentile die almost got you. You make your way to the Demon Slayer's place. Yeah,
I knock on the door.
You heard some dogs barking and a person screaming as you went through the abandoned area, but that's not your business.
Not
yeah,
my circus, not my monkeys.
yeah. You head to the front door. It's open. There's light pouring in from the inside, pouring out from the inside. You can
I
hear
look inside.
what sounds like people having a good time, maybe some laughter. But there is one guy with a chainmail shirt on, over a tabard that has like the Demon Slayer's regalia across it, like the red and gold. And his arms crossed with like these short sleeves that reveal his bulging muscles, and a big old, beaten stick on his hip. And he gives you, yeah. Whoa, you look a little lost, kid.
I'm not lost. I'm looking to talk to whoever's, the head here.
Uh-huh.
I got something to return to you.
I'd pull it out. I wouldn't have it on because that might be disrespectful. But like inside my shirt, I have like a place where I put my daggers and
pull
stuff.
it
So I'll
out.
probably have it stuff there, and I'll kind of like go like this and show him a little bit and put it back in.
He goes from like, who is this child who walked up and is like completely out of, in danger
Yeah.
and out of their element, to like, oh shit. And he leans forward and goes, "Where did you get that?"
That's kind of what I'm here to talk about.
All right. And quickly, he just nods for you to walk in, leaves his post, steps on inside, and kind of does like a finger snapping and points to someone on the far side of the room who, like, at first just gives him a casual glance, but when the waving happens, gets up from his table and kind of hurries over. And as this...
I look at his neck. Does he have one?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
But as this person gets up and heads over, the rest of the tavern quickly, the atrium, the meeting room, quickly falls
Hushes.
quiet as everyone watches him like hurry to the front door. You're
I
now
stick out a hand when he does get here.
cool. He will kind of... Only a charisma
Confusedly?
check for that one. Yeah, he's a little bit confused because he's been called, and here's this kid, and you're sticking out your hand. He ignores you at first. But to set the scene, this room is longer than it is deep. There's not like a proper bar, but there are bottles on multiple tables. There's some food on multiple tables. There's like 4 entrances and exits to this room. And maybe 15 demon slayers in here, all of whom look like they have at least 13 strength. Most of them aren't wearing any armor, just the door guard. But they all have weapons that they look like they know how to use.
Okay.
But this one fellow comes on over. And the door guard points to you and says, he's got something you need to see. And then he looks over you, and you've got your hand out. And he gently takes your hand, shakes it once.
So, I live on the other side of town, and we heard about this big thing that happened, and
I'll kind of like, pull it out to show him, and
I don't know if I'm supposed to hand this to you or if it should go to someone else.
and I show him what it is.
He sees it.
But I want to return this. We found it on some guy who
Kind of shrug a little bit.
we've been watching for a while, and he's handled.
He puts his hand
But,
out again. Let me shake your hand there, good citizen.
Shake his hand.
This is much more emphatic
Yeah.
now. Please, come inside. He brings you to a table in the common room out here, but like on the far side of everything. Sits you down, pours you a glass himself from a bottle, and pours himself a glass from the same bottle. He's brought you to a table where it's just the two of you, not to the table where he was sitting with his other friends. The rest
As
of the
he's
room
pouring a
begins to
glass?
pick up again.
Can I get, as he's pouring and like, good citizen, blah, blah, blah. Can I get a lip reading check on is there a group nearby talking that I can like pick up?
Nice.
Yeah.
30.
Boom.
Yeah. So you can get a few seconds of conversation as these glasses are being poured. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The person whose lips you're reading is like, who the fuck is that pipsqueak? What the hell is going on over there? And the person who he's talking to goes, I don't know. But I ain't seen Jim that excited in an age. Must be something good.
Okay.
And by then the glasses are poured.
Do I still have the amulet or has he taken it at this point?
He has not taken it from you
Okay.
yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind.
That's nice.
So he pours you a drink. He pours himself a drink from the same bottle. He sets the bottle down in front of him. Says, so I think you before you hand that over, you got a little story to tell me.
It's not very exciting, and it's not all. It's not a nice story.
And I'll, pick it out, put it on the table, and as I'm putting it on the table, I'm looking for eyes, I guess, like people's faces, because probably people are looking over here. Very much place it on the table in front of me and like put it in the middle. So if he wants it, he has to grab it, etc.
Yeah, give me a perception check as you kind of glance around the room to see if anyone's
21.
looking. Oh, well, that's a success. Very good. There are a couple of folks who look over, but I think as you pull out and set on the table, it doesn't show what it is well enough in that gentle movement for people to really take notice. So there's just a couple of glances as people return to their stuff.
I'm not proud of, the type of business I'm in, but I am proud of, I guess, being able to return this to you after I heard whose it is, or...
I kind of shrug a little bit.
Hard times make it difficult for all of us. You got to do what you got to do to get by.
Well, I'm glad that this is now back with the rightful owners.
You didn't, could you tell me who had this?
It was just some guy that we've been stalking for a little bit. Originally, we
Does he
were
have a
near...
name?
Kind of shrug.
I don't deal much in names. You ever heard of Mickey?
I know a lot of Mickeys.
The one who lived in the Copperheads area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there was a Mickey living on the east side of town. One of those foreigners coming into our land, stealing from our people.
Yeah, he's not like us. I was born here. I've always lived here. But, I used to live near the old Vic, and we were having some trouble. So, we kind of went into Mickey's and dealt with him. And in there, I saw this, and I grabbed it. And among some other things. And, I've been asking over the past months about this, and I heard that it belongs to you, and it's very important to you guys, so I thought I'd come by and return it.
So you're saying you found this in Mickey's place? Copperhead Mickey.
I know.
Damn copperheads.
Now that's real strange.
Oh.
Because there was a bit of a fuss kicked up when Mickey died. I remember it. I was actually in this room when I heard about it. There were copperheads sneaking around this part of town, poking their heads indoors. Pockets were being pilfered. A couple of our guys got held up. They were looking for information on, who did what to Mickey. It wasn't any of our business. We're here to keep the peace. We're not here to, rob locksmiths. But Mickey died a long time ago.
And odd.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of these floating around.
I would assume not.
Are you sure that's where you found it? I mean, man, like you probably gets up to all sorts of business. It'd be easy to forget where you picked something up.
I try to think.
I think it's from Mickey's, but I do get involved in a bunch of shit, and I got a whole ton of shit. I was just looking through my shit recently, and I saw it, and I was like, yeah, probably from Mickey's.
I kind of shrug.
But I think so.
He shrugs. All right. Well, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. What'd you say your name was, kid?
Pigeon?
Pigeon? I'm
Yeah.
Jim, he says, and he sticks out a big old meaty hand. Again, to shake your hand for the third time.
Okay. I nod it. I shake it.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, I learned about what it is a bit, I think.
No, tell me what you think.
I think that this is what you guys used to pass down when you guys were town guards. And this would be for, whoever the commander is of the town guard?
That was
Yeah.
my shrug, yeah.
Yeah, it's a symbol of leadership. It's a symbol of, who's running things.
I nod.
Now, there was one that we've been looking for, but that must still be out there. This must be an old one. This must be before the monsters showed up, back when, maybe a couple generations ago. How Mickey ended up with one of these is beyond me, and why those copperheads haven't used it before then. Maybe they have. Maybe that explains how he ponders to himself. And then he reaches out across the table to pick it up by the chain and hold it. And sets it down right in front of him. This has been out there floating around for a while. I really appreciate you bringing this by. Yeah, there should be another one out there. Friend of ours, former commander.
Good to know, friend.
Was a good man. He died recently. Killed in his sleep by some just real, no offense, some real dirty fuckers.
Cowards.
Yeah. Yeah. And they took his stuff. Took one of these. We've been looking for it. But hey, that's not your problem. You done us a great service, kid.
Not my monkey, not my circus, I can keep an eye out, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't expect you to do no work for free for us. I'm Jim.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm a centurion here if you need anything.
What's a centurion?
It's an old title, doesn't have a lot of meaning anymore. Kind of formality these days. It essentially means I I have a bunch of. I oversee a lot of town guard, a lot of wall watchers and stuff.
Big guy, yeah.
Well, I'm just like any of these other people. I've just been around long enough and worked hard enough that people have given me a little bit more responsibility than the others. So if you need anything, kid, would you say you live? You live over nearby the Old Vic?
No, I moved, and we live, you know where, do you know Patricia's?
I just say that like I knew that he'd know.
No.
I'll give him like a street on that side of town. I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's Pittman territory. Or,
Right.
You know,
But you mention
I'll mention a general like area. You know, like the west side of town.
right. West side of town, north of the abandoned parts, north of the ruins.
Yeah.
Got it. Well,
I mean, you say, do you need anything? I guess I could,
I'd look around at like all these big guys.
you know, I guess I could use something. Me and my buddy are, we're going on a bit of a journey. And we could use a bit of brawn to help us if anybody's gonna try and, you know, do anything out there. We're not fighters like you.
how far are you going?
A little bit past Fortune.
Kind of a far journey. What's it about?
Well,
I think to myself for a second.
can I trust you?
I owe you a massive favor. I mean, we all owe you a really big favor for returning this to us. You could trust me with your sister at this point in time.
Yeah, if I had one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have some business up there. We're gonna be bringing something back for one of our friends, and we need help there and back.
Okay.
We can
Sounds-
pay.
No pay necessary. I'll get two good guys. You come back day after tomorrow. I'll have a pair of strong hands, good swords, some chainmail. They'll help you get to. You said just past Fortune, like a village out there somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna stop by Fortune, but yeah, just past.
Sure. Well, we'll make sure you get some nice protection. And when you come back, you should consider moving. That part of town. You know, if you're from west side of town, you seem like a good kid. There's some bad folks over there. You know, sort of people who leave bodies in the streets.
Jesus, I haven't seen that.
Well, why didn't you, there's people there who pay good money for something like this. Real good money. You could have made a name for yourself. Why'd you bring it here?
It just don't feel right selling something that's somebody else's.
He cocks his head to the side. Really? Didn't you say that you made short work of Mickey?
Well, it's somebody else's that somebody really cares about. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes there's things that are more. My mom always taught me that, a painting, it could mean something a lot to somebody. And this, when I heard that it does mean a lot to some people, I was like, why not? I got a ton of money.
Pull out a fucking 500 gold gem and show it on the table.
It's not really about money.
All right.
Put my gem away.
I suppose Mickey met something to someone too, but it wasn't exactly an innocent, if you know what I mean.
He was in the game.
Yeah. Well, kid. Did you give him your name yet?
Mm-hmm.
Pigeon.
Yeah, Pigeon.
You should consider moving. We could use a real good head like yours around here. A man with a heart as sharp as his mind, as his brain, a man with a good heart and a good head. We could use your type around here. West side of town, full of ruffians, you know?
I mean, we're not too far from you, so I'll talk to my brother about it. We'll think about it.
Mm-hmm. He gets up from the table, puts out a hand again. Just shake your hand for the fourth time here.
Yeah, I shake his hand. I got this guy a promotion, so.
Well, yeah, Pigeon, we appreciate you. We'll see you in 2 days back here at this spot.
All right, we'll bring horses and stuff.
All right.
Don't worry. They don't need to worry about paying for food or anything. We'll get their rations,
All right. Good man,
I'll talk
Pigeon.
to you later, Jim. Hey, bye, everybody. Glad I could return that to you.
People kind of look up as you walk, and no one waves back at you.
But
as you leave,
to read lips.
yeah, it's just kind of like a what? Huh?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this kid? And then like a bunch of eyes shift back over to the table where you were sitting with the guy, and by now it's clear that his expression has changed, and he's a lot more interested in what's going on, and he's waiting for you to leave the room. He's kind of just like patiently waiting before young. And as you get to the door, he like gives a hand signal to the door guard, who as you steps out with you and shuts the door behind him. And then through the windows, you can see the group gathering around Jim to see what's going on.
Can I pick up some conversation?
Yeah. Give me another lip reading check at like a -2 because you got to go through the shitty glass that we have in this day and age. Yeah. There's lots of, oh my God, where the fuck did he get that? Lots of just sort of like excited claims and surprise. And then people like looking out to the window, but when it's dark outside and the light inside, you look to the window, but it's just black. And so then people look back at what they're doing. You can see in really easily. They have a real hard time seeing out. All the conversation that you're going to pick up here is just like
Does Jim
surprise.
say anything of interest?
Yes, he says we need to close down for tonight, and then something garbled, and I have to bring this something garbled because it's what you only get like 70% or something like that.
70%.
Yeah. So he's going to shut everything down, and he's going to take it somewhere special, or to someone special.
I go to Luther.
Quickly, he's just
and
across the street. Yeah.
How did it go?
It went really well. They're going to give us 2 people, but Jim, the guy inside, is going to move this somewhere special. So I'm going to follow him. I want to find the spot.
You're on a roll, kid.
I'm on a roll.
I jump to the roofs, I climb up, and I see if I can follow him. That's the goal.
Another drink, please. Thanks.
Yep. You get another drink. Sure enough, you climb on some roofs, and Jim steps outside. It takes like 15 minutes between the time you leave the bar before he steps outside. And when he steps outside, he's got his armor on now, and he's got a sword at his side, and he's got a posse of 8 people, chainmail.
Okay.
8 folks around him. Some of them have armor. Some of them don't, but they're like the band is together, and the 9 of them, excuse me, hiccups.
You're good.
Head up the main street. If we look at the map, you guys are here at the headquarters, right? So they just head out to the main drag and come up here and cross the street. And there's a building over there. A building that Luther would recognize, but you weren't here for that. And the 8 of them go into that building together. And as they go in, the person on the door, there's just some handshakes and talking. And then the door guard comes in with them, and they shut the door together.
Was there a secret
no one outside.
handshake that I could pick up at all, or no? Just like regular?
Ooh. Give me a lip reading at -5 because it's nighttime and there's a lot of distance.
Alrighty. Oh, hits.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, there's a secret handshake.
I want to memorize it if I can.
All right, so you rolled a 29, -5 is a 24, which is a success. It's enough of a success to see that this is not a normal handshake that went down? Is it enough of a success to determine that it was indeed, you can pull out the components of it and memorize it? That's a tough question. I'm going to need a charisma check and an intelligence check.
Oh, those are my worst stats. Fail and natural 20, though.
Ooh. So you pick up on not only that it's a secret handshake, but you catch sort of like the rhythm of it. You can see like the hand on top, and then there's like a sliding action where the hands turn upside down, and you kind of get the gist of it. But by the time you get back to Luther, you're finding yourself like struggling with like, wait, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you picked up on it, but it happened really fast, and you can't quite hold it all together. But if you could see it a few more times, maybe.
I know the rhythm.
Yeah.
I just need to learn what movements they're doing.
You'll definitely be able to identify this handshake if you ever see it anywhere.
Good to know. All right.
Yeah.
And can we mark the spot on the map so we just don't forget? You don't have to do it now. If you want to do it later, you can.
Yeah. I'll make some markings here.
Excuse me, sorry.
I give Luther the entire rundown of what happened.
You know, I said that it was Mickey because Mickey's dead, and you know, dead men don't talk, so they're not going to be able to confirm where we got it from. But now they do think that the Vallejo amulet's still out there, but they also liked him. So it's a good thing I didn't say, you know, we killed him.
Well, yeah, but what if they've got someone like the back there who'll be able to tell the difference between like the new one and the old one?
Well, that won't be out of fucking town. I don't know what to tell you. It sounded like they're all the same, though. Like, very similar.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine, but like, you know, there's people out there that know that we offed Mickey.
You mean Vallejo?
No, I mean Mickey.
Yeah, they knew I offed Mickey, too.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, cool.
That might get them in, you know, a bit of a war with the Copperheads now.
Yeah, that's good thinking.
It sounded like they thought that they were using this.
Using it for what?
I shrug.
I don't know. He said something like, well, why haven't they? Oh. So I think that he thinks that they have been using it. And I don't know for what.
Did we show this to the wizard?
No, we showed it to the guy in Rusty's book.
He wanted to buy it.
He did. I shrug.
Yeah, all right, well, fine. So what, tomorrow or the day after?
Not tomorrow, but the day after. So coincidentally, when we're going to have the conversation with the guy at Grimy Gremlin.
That's right.
It's all working out.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to need another 2 horses.
I go to the horseman. Of course, as a horse vendor, and I schedule 2 more horses.
Well, that's a tomorrow task. Yeah, we'll do it.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else to do tonight before you crash out? We are slightly time sensitive, but not super time sensitive. You got a little bit.
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Okay. Why don't we take a break and we'll come back on the other side with a little bit more Hardly Heroes.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardly Heroes. We're going to get this show on the road, but first, Nick has something to tell us.
Yeah, so you guys might remember a few months ago, we showed you a video and we talked a little bit about a project that Neil and I are working on. We're looking to raise funds through Kickstarter, and that went live recently, last week. So the project's name is Vellum. It's a platform for world building, campaign building. It's aimed primarily at dungeon masters like Neil. There's a lot more information on the Kickstarter itself, so I'll just put a link below this video so you can go check it out. If you do take the time, thanks so much, but let's get back to the game.
All right. It's the next day, and our party is gathered together at an inn somewhere. And as you're getting your stuff together and pulling about, who should come up to your inn room or into the common area of your inn but Tim, little Tim.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember little Tim. His grandmother works in the inner city, and he was going to get you information, and he's here. He's like looking for you, and then he sees the two of you, and he hurries over to you guys in the common room as you're having your beans and eggs for breakfast, and he's like, "Hi guys, I'm so sorry I missed the meeting, but like I found you."
Not very cool of you.
Not very cool of you to miss the meeting, Tim.
I thought it was I had the right spot and everything, but you guys weren't there, and so I just I found you today. Looked for you all night.
Show an initiative, Tim. I like it.
Where's the big boss?
Eraser?
He's busy right now.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we had a meeting on the books.
We do. You're with us.
Where are the others?
Busy.
I kind of shrug my shoulders.
You're not going to get all of us every time.
Oh. That makes sense. Yeah.
If you've got something good, Tim, we'll bring it to a racer, and maybe he'll want to meet you personally.
Well, you were asking about Catrice? And I got some information from Gran.
Okay. You mean...
Is this a secure room?
No idea.
I whispered to a pigeon. Does he mean Calpurnia?
I shrug.
Calpurnia, yes.
Okay.
Not Catrice, Calpurnia. Thank you. I was looking at the wrong name entirely.
Does he say Calpurnia or does it say Catrice?
He says Calpurnia. That was one
Okay.
of the extremely rare, almost never happening DM mistakes. They're basically, once in a million years, so.
Yeah. We're not used to it, so that's why we're all
Yeah.
confused.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Okay, good. Well, I look around and I say, don't worry. People in here are safe, just let's keep it at a reasonable volume.
He takes a look around the room and goes, okay. Well, from what Gran says, Calpurnia is getting married soon. She's
Is that right?
Yeah, well, I asked Gran, and Gran said that Calpurnia and the others, they all play together is what she was calling it. And she also said that Calpurnia is graduating from, that's not that, she used a different term, but, she's like having her big coming out. She had her big coming out party a couple years ago, but hadn't found a suitor yet. And she's going to be getting married pretty soon. And so she's been hanging out with all of her friends and running around, but she's about to leave that life behind to, grow up and run a house and everything. So I think if you want something from Calpurnia, that, the window's probably closing pretty soon. I think she's leaving the redcoats behind. It's a bunch of kids, right? It's just, it's the youth, and they all eventually graduate and, move on to bigger and better, noble life things where they're just doing their normal, noble adult stuff. They're Calpurnia's, she's not long for her
Where's our wedding
lifestyle.
at?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Where's the wedding?
It's at her house.
Which is
In the inner city?
The inner
It's in,
city?
it's in their city. Yeah, it's in their family's big estate. Yeah. She's getting married to this dude. His family's not as good, but they have a bunch of land down south. All that land that got ruined when the demons showed up and destroyed everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, this guy, his family, not as big, but they went to Pittsburgh and they managed to claim a whole bunch of territory in and around Pittsburgh. So he and she, once they, after the wedding and everything, they're going to try and move down there with some extra muscle and a whole bunch of peasants that they've gathered together. And they're going to go refound was the word being thrown around, but I think they're just going to go resettle that area. And she's going to be a baroness then.
Interesting. Do you know when the wedding is?
Yeah, it's in 2 months' time.
All right. Thank you.
All right. That's good work. Nice work, Tim.
Yeah, good work. Keep it coming.
Yeah, keep an eye on her. If we want to know what she taking with her down to Pittsburgh. How many men she bringing with her? When she planning to leave after the wedding? Shit like that.
Okay.
And if you can find out any more specifics of the wedding day itself, that would also be useful. Or maybe.
Well, how are you going to get into the inner city?
You don't need to worry about that.
That's for us to worry about, Tim.
I pull out 3 gold and hand it over to him.
One other thing though, Tim, I say, put my hand over Pigeon's as he goes to hand him the gold. If she's planning to leave right after the wedding, she might have all of her stuff in storage somewhere.
He nods his head. Yeah. Well, Gran says the plan is to get married and then go to Pittsburgh right away. I think the wedding is also doubling as like a big old send off for the two of them. And Gran just said like they're taking. She waved her hand in the air and said, you know, they're taking their guards. I don't really understand what that meant. I pressed her for details, and she said, "Oh, you know, who really pays attention to these things?" But I think they're going to be taken like, what do you call it when like people get married and then they go celebrate?
Honeymoon.
Yeah, that. They're going to do that. So I think they're going to like, you know, it's going to be like a big entourage and procession. They're going to be like, there's going to be flyers and bells and pigeons and shit. And like, I think it's going to be a big thing where a whole bunch of people go from Stromheim down to Pittsburgh all together at once. Like it'll be a thing. Like you'll see them parading through the streets and everything. Will probably be like party banners and confetti and stuff and like a magic show.
Tim?
Crazy. But yeah. Maybe you can find out where they're keeping all that shit before they leave. Yeah, maybe there's a storeroom in her house or something like that.
Okay, I'll go back to
Maybe you
Graham.
can find that out.
Yeah, you get back out there. We're gonna be gone for a few weeks, okay?
Yeah.
Well, wedding's in 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, 2 months. I said a few weeks.
Okay.
Listen, I stand up and I put my arm around Tim's shoulder and I start to walk him out of the inn, and I say, you know, Tim, when you get big in the business like this, you got a lot of irons in the fire, you know, more than one thing. Some things don't work out, some things never happen, some things you make it big, you know, you've got to have multiple irons, Tim, and that's what you are. You're one of these irons. But we got to go and take care of another iron right now, and we'll be gone for a few weeks, but we'll check in with you when we're back.
He opens his hand that has the 3 gold pieces in it. Didn't we say 10 gold?
How much have we given him so far? How much have I given you so far?
3?
What about the rest I gave you before the first time?
You told me that you were going to pay me afterwards. No money up front.
No, we gave you money, Tim.
Listen, it's all right, Pigeon. You know what, Tim? That was actually really good information. So here you go. I give him another 7 gold.
All right, he'll take it.
Job's not over.
Pats himself on the back. Oh.
Like I said, find out some more stuff. Got more coin.
Okay.
We'll be back here. All right, keep looking.
Okay. And he's gone.
All right. I turn back and shrug like, hey, that was pretty good, actually.
Some information.
Yeah, we should probably give it to the pitmen and see if they'll do it with us, but let's focus on what we got right now.
Yeah, you know, it wouldn't... Even if we got revenge on Calpurnia, what's the point if Eraser and Sierra and Helmet and Percival are all locked up, you know?
That's right.
And they're probably even to eat like dwarven food right now.
Ugh. Terrible.
What do they even eat? Rocks?
Haggis.
Shit, probably.
Yeah. Haggis, shit, and rocks. Haggis with a side of shit. And an appetizer of rocks. It's no way to live, Pigeon. Listen, if I ever become a dwarf, I want you to kill me.
Just kill you. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Someone makes a curse where if you get bitten by a dwarf, you get turned into a dwarf, and there's just a bunch of angry dwarves running around biting people.
That's the curse of Sparky the Poison Dwarf. Like, he sells poisons, but that's a coincidence. He's actually also got a poison bite that turns you into a dwarf.
Or it's poisoned booze. So you drink the dwarven ale, and then once you've had enough, you just like start shrinking and become a dwarf.
That would be quite a good like Halloween episode for a town where everyone's weirdly a dwarf. But there's actually only one original dwarf who owns the pub. And everyone gets turned into dwarfs.
The party starts shrinking as they drink at the pub, and they just get smaller and smaller. That's fun. Well, here you are. You have 1 day of downtime before you're supposed to have 2 meetings. One with a guide, one with your bodyguards. Is there anything you need to do today? Say like getting the horses and shit?
Yeah,
I think get the horses and rations.
Rations.
Okay. Well, we can hand wave the rations. You're going to need to buy 4 horses. Each horse is 75 gold, I believe.
Wait, we only need 5 horses.
4?
Don't we have 2 guards?
You do have 2
guards.
guards. 5
5
horses.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. 300
and they
gold.
are, yep. Yes, yeah. 375 times 5 is 375.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Can I just give him one of these 500 gold gems and tell him, change?
Break it for me. Yeah.
Break it for me?
No, the value of gems is that they're really lightweight, and the drawback of that lightweight is that they're not just easily breakable. And
right.
some people don't accept them because they don't know how to value them.
I'll go home. I'll grab, how much is 375 gold and silver?
3,750.
All right, I'll grab 2,000 silver, so that's 200 gold. And I'll also grab 175 gold as well.
Okay. So essentially you bring like the chest that has all the remaining silver in it. And then you sprinkle some gold on top, and you haul this big ass box of wealth over to the stable dude, and you're like,
yeah, either haul it or have him come here and get it. Probably have him come here and get it.
To your place, to your house where all the dwarves are working?
I think we just bring it to him.
All right, we'll bring it to him.
You can do it
That's
either way.
fine.
I just want to be clear.
Let's get rid of it. We don't need the silver. Let's just bring it to him. It's fine.
We'll bring it to him. Fuck it.
Great. Yeah, you bring him the silver.
All right.
We can just hand wave this. You can get the horses with saddles and all the jazz, and it's fine. Done.
Cool.
Sold.
If all goes smoothly, we can hopefully keep these horses for the rest of Steel Team 6 when we rescue them.
Yeah, and we'll fold all of their maintenance fees into your monthly expenses, so we don't have to worry about them.
All right. We get it moving.
Okay, I think in the morning, we agree to meet at the north gate, and you can go and find the guards, and I'll go and get the guide.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yep.
Just to speed things along.
Great. Well, then let's just do that. We can just skip to the next day. There's nothing left to do in town other than get your guards, get your guide. The guards are pretty straightforward. Mootin, Pigeon, there's 2 guards. They're here waiting for you. There's handshakes all around. Jim says, "Hey, this is Pigeon. He's done real good by us. You already know the story. Keep him and his traveling party real safe."
Am I a bit of a hero, Jim?
Well, let's not go throwing around the H word too casually.
Yeah, that's true.
But you done a good thing.
Well, thank you for this. I appreciate it. We can keep in contact, and if you ever need
Whisper to him.
the greatest locksmith in the city, you can hit me up.
Well, when you come back, you think about moving over to our side of town, and we could have some real nice relations.
I know. All right. I get them on their horses. I get their shit on the horses, and we
Easy
kick off
peasy.
to the exit.
All right, I had to Grimy Goblin.
You
Gremlin.
head to the Grindly Gremlin. And this place is a little bit different over here.
Yeah.
You get to the Grimy Gremlin, and it's underground, so it's always dark. It's always like low lighting in here. And there's Fiona. She's not sitting at the bar. Someone else is manning the bar right now. We're not going to talk about them for now. But you do see Fiona sitting at a table with a kid is too strong of a word. A young woman she must be maybe like 16, 17, somewhere in there. She's kind of got like a bit of a dirty face. She's got some decent clothes on, but she has the mannerisms of like a country bumpkin, like she's sitting with her elbows on the table, and she's just kind of like chewing on her nails and just kind of like picking at her nose a little bit. And she has that like skittish look. When you come in the door, her head like looks to you, but not like a casual, comfortable who's coming, but like a snap, like what's going on in here. She's got that, she's had a hard life vibe around her, and also probably a pretty rural life. Fiona nudges her, and she kind of like sits up as you approach.
I nod at the girl and say hey to Fiona, and I'll like ask the bartender for a drink as well as I sit down. Mm-hmm. If it's not rude to do so, like I just kind of like speak over to the bartender. Yep.
Yeah, they bring you a glass.
I sit down, take a drink. So,
Luther.
Fiona, this is your guide.
This is Angelica. Angelica, this is Luther, the nice man I was telling you about.
Nice to meet you, Angelica. You from Fortune?
She nods.
Cool. How did you end up here?
She begins to speak up, and Fiona quickly speaks over her. Hi, we have a mutual acquaintance, one of our cohort who spent some time in Fortune, managed to brought Fiona home here. This is her home now. Got her out of a bad situation. But Fiona's a growing girl. She can't just sit around doing nothing all day. She's got to be a part of society. And the one thing that she does really well is Fortune. She knows the area, and she's walked the path, which is more than I can say for most of us. Her mind is sharp. She says that she remembers the way very well. Fiona, how do you get from here to Fortune? And Fiona just kind of looks up at you and goes, you take the road to the River Crux, and then you follow the River Crux all the way to Fortune. It's really not that hard. And Fiona looks at you and was like, don't listen to her. Well, listen to her, but it's a bit more difficult than that. But she'll get you there.
And
if you have
Angelica,
any questions about the city...
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You know the city?
Angelica nods a few times. Yeah.
You know much about this Lord Marshal fellow? Before your after your time?
No, I know about him.
All right, good. Well, we can talk on the journey. So, here's the deal. We've got some protection on the road, so we all should be safe. I don't know how much Fiona told you about Fee. I look at Fiona.
She shakes her head.
I reckon, we'll cover your costs. We've got you a horse, food, lodgings. That's all on us. And when we get back, I look her up and down slowly. 60 gold.
She nods enthusiastically. Stops chewing her nails for a moment. Sticks out a grimy hand.
Good. Well, we're heading off shortly. This is probably going to be a last chance to clean yourself up before we leave.
She shakes her head. No.
All right.
This is good.
Okay. Well, unless you need anything else, Fiona, we got to get going.
Fiona shakes her head. Good luck. Bring her back safe.
Will do. I shake Fiona's hand as I stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the intro. And I hand her another 5 gold as
perfect.
As I shake her hand. Okay, Angelica, let's go. So I walk out into the streets with her. How's you said she's like small and slight. Does she look like a child? Like is she small?
No. She's definitely in that like 16, 17 area. She does look small and slight, like maybe she was malnourished as a kid, or hasn't had a lot of she's had some food insecurity, is what we would say in the modern era. But she also looks like someone on the cusp of adulthood, someone who has seen things and done things. She doesn't look dumb or stupid.
Cool.
Just sort of like maybe uneducated, hard life from a hard part of the world, and definitely has some like, I want to say like dirty mannerisms in a way that implies like she just lives in an area that is like physically downtrodden, like not unclean spaces, not like she is dirty as a person, but just physically, like she must live in a shithole. Yeah.
Do you have any stuff you want to bring?
She shakes her head. Stuff just slows you down.
We've got horses, but I heard you say something on a boat.
Boat?
You said the river. No,
don't take the river.
Okay.
No, walk alongside it. Don't go.
Perfect.
She looks at you carefully. Don't go in the water.
I'm sure I can say. I never have.
When was the last time you fought a zombie?
I don't never fought a zombie, but skeletons. There's still some of them hanging around in the ruins.
Skeletons are fast. Zombies are strong. It's very different. You gotta be careful with the zombies.
All right, well,
Don't let them touch
we'll
you.
Stay away from them. We'll stay away. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that. Let's. So listen, we're going to be traveling. There's a few of us. So I'm Luther. There's my nephew. His name's Pigeon.
Hey there.
He's well, we're not back at you. Yeah, I'm sort of giving her the intro as we're walking. Sorry. He's a little bit older than you, a little bit younger than me. And then there's a couple of guys from the Demon Slayers coming with us as guards.
You'll need them.
Yeah, good. All right, well, we're leaving now, so you don't have any stuff you want to bring?
She shakes her head.
All right, good. Let's go. We walk through town. I want to put my armor on, but I guess I'll do that when we get outside the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, the whole party can convene on the north side of the gate. You can put on your armor. You've got a bunch of horses. You've got 2 guards, which we can introduce if we want, but hopefully we won't need to know them too well. We've got Angelica, the young scout that you're going to bring with you. Yeah. And now's a great opportunity to talk about horses. No one here has a horseback riding proficiency.
Nope.
These are trained horses. If you are walking down a road with them, they will follow you down. They will go down the road without too much trouble. I don't think you guys have ridden a horse. The Demon Slayers with you have, so they can give you enough of a pointer that like you can manage a horse and you can ride it and it'll be fine. However, these are not combat mounts. They will probably flee the moment they take any damage, or if they get scared, or if there's like a lot of blood in the air, and you probably won't be able to control them. Something happens where they start like freaking out or bucking, you could be in some trouble. You could take some damage falling off them, or worse. But they're definitely not combat mounts. Just so that we're all very.
Is this one of the Demon Slayers kind of explaining this?
I think so. That's how I should have done it. Actually, yeah.
So do I get the impression that he has a horseback riding proficiency? Like, can we trust him to like kind of look after the horses outside of riding them?
Let's give him a check to see if he has a proficiency or if he just knows a little bit more.
I did mention that we were going to bring horses, so I don't know if he would be more likely to get someone with it.
Yes, this man is a proficient horseback rider. He knows what's up. He says that he will manage the horses while you're riding, just that, they don't get lost.
Fantastic. All right, let's get going on the road. I do want to ask Angelica about fortune, but
we're going to bring a cart. Okay. I don't know what we're going to eventually get there. We don't know what we're going for.
We can buy a cart there. We can get a cart there. Let's not drag a cart.
You want to get a cart of fortune?
Why are we going to carry
a cart on
an
the way?
cart?
Then that's totally fine.
Yeah, we can get one in a village or something easy.
Right, we'll get a cart there.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that.
On the road again.
On the road. We set out northward, leaving the city for the second time this campaign, heading into new lands. Now, both of you as players have seen a map of Arcadia. Third time. Both of you as players have seen a map of Arcadia and know it pretty well, but your characters probably have never seen a proper map. You kind of know that things are north or south, but like you don't have bird's eye views. You always have just a 6 foot off the ground viewpoint of everything. So I'm not going to give you a map for this journey. You're going to be reliant upon your guide to get you there and back.
Yeah.
Okay. With horses, you can travel pretty far in a day. A riding horse has movement speed 24, which would allow you to go 48 miles in a day. Yeah.
We got all the random shit that's needed to build camps and all of that. Bed rolls, put it on the horse.
Oh, okay. So you want bed rolls and fire kits and tents.
Yeah, some stuff to make food out of, or we have our rations.
We'll stop at villages, no?
There are plenty of villages that you can stop.
This is a well-traveled.
You would think it used to be, but now it's been ruined by zombies and shit.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So we'll bring the bed rolls, the fire starter kits, all of that. I would assume monthly expenses because we're paying out the ass. But
Yep. Yeah. No, those are monthly expenses. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
And our strong fighter types can carry all of that stuff.
It doesn't need to be. They're on the horses.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah, this is fine. Each horse can carry a bedroll and a tent for every 2 people or every 3 people. And you'll pack some food. You'll pack some water skins. You'll pack some fire starters. But aside from camp supplies, like if you want rope or if you want marbles or torches, like put it on your character sheets now.
I've already got that on my character sheet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what have you got?
I'll just grab one more 50-foot of rope.
Okay.
I have my silken lasso.
Okay, I'm some rope as well.
Yeah, I think rope's always good to have. Some pittons wouldn't be needed.
Might be. Climb walls.
Are we really gonna be pitting in to go climb a keep?
I mean, maybe. You never know, right? We might need to climb down into the dungeons or something.
Do you know how to use a pitten?
I mean, I don't know. I've got
Do you have mountain
13
climbing?
points in climb. Do you only ever use them for mountain climbing?
Yeah.
Okay, then no. In that case, we don't need them. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so if it's not on your character sheet and it's not a tent or a sleeping bag or
We bring the bullseye
Whatever.
lantern.
add that to your
Nick,
character
take that.
sheet.
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm gonna grab some torches too.
Yeah, add it to the sheets.
Yep, I'm grabbing them. We have one bullseye lantern at least. Do we have a second at our house?
There's the one. There's the one that they use to blind you.
Nick, take that one.
Yep, got it.
Bullseye lantern. We got our gear on.
Carlo Vallejo's short sword is still in the household, Neil. Is that accurate, or did Calpurnia take that?
I think that's accurate. I think we
Okay.
correctly
We've already
updated
done
everything.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
taking that with me.
Okay, moving from one sheet to the other.
Didn't we
Yes.
Did we get that identified? I think we did.
Yeah, it's not.
Not magical, but it's cool.
Yep.
It's just nice. All right, the party is on the road.
Wait. His longsword was magical, correct, Nick?
His longsword was, yeah.
All right, we're gonna bring the longsword and we'll let one of these guys use it and tell them we want it back.
No,
Well-
that's not a good idea.
Why
Right.
not?
Because they might know it's Carlo Vallejo's sword. Oh yeah, good about the short sword as well. Good point.
That's true. All right.
Okay, I don't take it. I'm putting it back on the sheet.
True. All right, good.
All right,
Safe.
we're going out on the road. We've got Angelica, the scout from Fortune, who seems a bit edgy or a bit sketchy. Sketchy is a lot, not sketchy. On edge. That's the word I'm looking for. Who seems a bit on edge. You also have your 2 bodyguards from the Demon Slayers, a man named Jong and a man named Reach. And they are both pretty well informed. Jong is your horseback rider who knows all about horses.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep, and Reach is just, another Demon Slayer. They're both well equipped. They have chainmail and arming swords at their sides, plus backup warhammers, and each of them also has a crossbow, a light crossbow.
So
they're
names are
ready.
Cheech and Jong.
Reach and Jong.
Reach and Jong. Not Cheech and Chong. Got it.
Reach and Jong, Demon Slayer buddies.
I already put them on there.
Oh, you have?
Uh-huh. Just takes a few seconds, I think, to update. We head off. Boom.
All right. Your horses can go about 48 miles in a day if you've got nice flat ground in front of you, which means you can make it to Copper Hill in half a day if you needed to. Fortune is a little bit further away, and it's going to be off the road, so you're not going to be making that sort of mileage. But we will at least get most of the way to Copper Hill today. And now I need to roll some dice.
Ants.
Like the town or the city of Stromheim, where there's people all over the place, but we're not always talking about the people that you're running into. There's people on the road. Sometimes they'll come in like 1s or 2s. Oftentimes it's just like a farmer from a nearby village pulling in materials to town, or someone taking materials out of town back to these little farms all over the place. We're going to ignore pretty much all the travelers on the road, but let's just say that there's almost always going to be someone on the horizon, either in front of you or behind you. Maybe 75% of the time, there's someone that you can see on the road in front of you or on the road behind you as you travel. There'll be moments where you are actually quite by yourself. There's an exception to this. This first day, as you're traveling towards Copper Hill, you're passing plenty of these folks. When you come across this mule-drawn wagon, not unusual, plenty of mule-drawn wagons. Sitting on back of it is a dwarf who is driving the mules. Not that unusual. But what's weird about him is he's got this thick breastplate on, and sitting in the wagon on either side of him is another dwarf with a breastplate, and they both have crossbows. And in the back of the wagon, like facing inward, are 4 dwarves on either side with breastplates and warhammers. And they're making their way towards Stromheim. Now,
can I lip read them? Talking. I don't know.
Yes, you could try. Yeah, of course.
22.
You will see that they're speaking in Dwarven. Yeah.
Cool. We leave them alone.
You don't need to interact with these people at all, but it is the most interesting. It's one of the most interesting things you're going to see if you have any curiosity with it whatsoever.
Is there any markings on them that would identify them as copperheads?
Not from the front, not as you're approaching them, because you'll see them coming for quite a ways, and then they'll be like, 5 seconds or less of you passing them, and then they'll be behind you. So you can try and get a good look as you ride past them, but from the front, it just looks like a whole bunch of dwarves in armor with weapons. And they're not shy about it. Like they have their warhammers in their hands as they're like sitting on the wagon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say something.
Is there someone in the middle? Like, is like their curtain and stuff?
No, it's an open carriage instead of like a closed carriage. More, it's an open cart instead of a closed carriage.
As we get close to them, I will sort of shout over to them. You do know the war's over, lads. There's no more undead.
There's sort of a chuckle and some raised warhammers and like a yeah. But otherwise they leave you be. The cart does have a name on it. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think I let the party carry on. I turn my horse around and ride up next to the cart for a little bit.
They immediately sort of alert as you come on over. The guys with crossbows turn, not aiming the bows at you, but turn so that their bodies are facing you as you drive the cart nearby. And you can see that the 8 dwarves in back have weapons in hand.
That's fine. I don't want to slow them down to talk, so I can catch back up with my party. I say, where are you guys headed? Out of interest, if it's not a secret. What's going on?
Goods for sale.
I'm from Stromheim.
He says. One of the dwarves in the back will take a hand, sort of lift up a bit of canvas, showing you racks of finely finished metal goods, like common things like nice hammers and lanterns, even some intricate things like a foil screen, not foil, but like metal screens that you might set up in a fancy place. But also you can see a bunch of heads of crossbow bolts sticking out of a tightly bound, string bundle.
Okay, I mean, none of that really appeals because we don't really have much use for metal armor or weapons. I say,
you interested in buying anything?
Well, probably not. I'm sure you've got a ways to go. You don't want to stop for every Tom, Dick, or Harry. I'm interested, but I don't do too much fighting myself, And I show my short sword and say, this is enough for me.
Main stores in Copper Hill. If you need anything, we're producing armor again. Got some chainmail out there.
All right, good to know. Good luck. Safe journey.
They give you a wave and let you ride back.
I turn the horse back around and catch back
Copper
up.
Hill.
Yeah, they own a shop, apparently. Selling all sorts of metal things. Armor, crossbows. Pretty cool.
All right. You leave them be. Not a problem.
Yeah.
You get about halfway through your day when you come to a small fortress, a little fortress. Fortress is a strong word. It's a palisade wall, maybe 15, 18 feet tall, maybe 20 feet, 30 feet long. You can't quite see the depth of it because there's some like trees in the way and everything. And there's a little sign out front of it because this is just like off of a little dirt road, off of the main trail. You can see the walls from you. There's a little wooden sign that stands over what looks like it was once a stone sign that has since been knocked down. That says, you can read, right, Nick? Did you finish your reading proficiency? Did you have one?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. The little sign. Oh. The little signs just says safe house.
Okay. And this is... Sorry, is this the entrance to Copper Hill?
No, this is before you get to the river. Not too terribly far from the river, is what Angelica will tell you. But this is just a palisade wall with a gate in it, kind of nestled in and amongst some trees up against the base of some hills right off the main road. It's a bit unusual. You've passed little farms, you've passed little villages, you haven't passed any fortifications, and you don't know of any fortresses or castles in this area. The wood looks relatively freshly hewn, like it's not rotting, so it can't be more than 10 years old. It could be as new as this year.
It says safe house?
It says safe house.
Not like guard point or something.
Yeah, I think it's of interest, and the party might... Sounds like it's stopping to take a look at this thing.
Yeah. I mean, I jumped down off the horse. Just gonna take a look. You wanna come, Pigeon?
Are you gonna look at everything that we see on the way?
No, just this and the fully armored dwarfs.
Just these two?
Yeah, that's the only two.
Okay, these are the first two things, and you just keep looking. All right.
That's a coincidence, I guess. It's strange.
There's lots of stuff that happened on the road. It just, we didn't look at it. Yeah. All right, you can...
Pigeon, yeah.
Is it locked?
Come down, I guess.
Is the gate locked in some way, or?
Does that mean that you go and open the gate?
I mean, yeah, I see what's going on with it. How's it closed?
They're just closed, and there's a handle on the front. As you approach the gate, when you go to open it, though, the gate will open from the inside. It'll crack, a bit, but there's not a person standing there, in the crack. Maybe they're behind the door.
This place is haunted. I'm not going in there.
I take a few steps back and rotate around so I look into the crack.
Yeah, you can see through the crack into an open courtyard. There's some buildings on the inside of this, or maybe it's one big building. You can
it's quite big.
See a section. Yeah, it's got to be 30 feet by maybe 20 or 30 feet deep. It's rather large.
I asked
a small house or something. Dirt
guys.
floor.
You know anything about this place?
Hello?
The demon slayers shake their heads.
I reach my hand out and start to open the door more.
Yeah, you give it a push and it just kind of creaks open inward.
There's no one there.
There's nobody in sight.
Well, who opened the door?
Maybe they're standing behind the door. Maybe it's haunted. I don't know.
I'm getting out of here. No, I ain't going in there. This place
No,
is
fair
haunted.
enough. Let's leave. Yep. I leave. Sorry. I say sorry and I close the door.
You'd have to reach inside the walls to close the door because it opens inward, right?
I do. Yeah, I reach in and grab the handle and close the door. I say sorry as I do it, though. Sorry.
That's
and then
perfect.
Close the door.
That's perfect. You reach in.
And you get your hand cut off. Amazing.
Well, we'll see. We got to roll the dice first. And we got to turn on the action music.
Not so safe house should be the answer. Should be the name.
A 16 to hit your touch AC. I do believe that does. Your touch AC is 11. A hand, not from behind the door, but from the other side of the wall. Like the gate opens inward, right? And so there must be someone pulling it from the gate, but there's also someone standing right on the other side of the wall. And so as you reach in to get to the handle, hand reaches out, grabs you, and I need an opposed strength check.
No problem. I'm well known for my strength.
You are well known for your strength. Do you beat a 21?
29.
Yeah. The hand goes to grab you and tries to tug you in.
Damn, what the fuck?
I'm surprised, but
That's what I say. What the fuck? And I pull my hand back out.
Yeah, well, he's still got a grip of you, but he's definitely not pulling you in any further.
Oh,
and I think
okay.
now we should roll some initiative.
I mean, I can talk though, right? Like, what are you doing?
Yes, you can talk.
I'm trying to leave.
I'd still like you to roll
Sorry.
initiative.
Okay. Wait.
All right, you both got 8s. Excellent. The person who grabbed you will beat you in initiative, and they're trying to hold on to you, and so they're going to step all the way around into the doorway now that's like slightly cracked open, and take their other hand and grab it onto you and just try to tug you
What do I see?
inside. You see what amounts to maybe like a common street thug kind of guy wearing a light shirt, the sort of shirt you might be wearing if you're like standing outside all day.
So strange.
And, fairly decent muscles, kind of a shaved head with some scratches and scars on it. He's got decent strength. He looks like he's
So
probably
like the
rocking a
fucking-
13 or 14.
The trapdoor spiders are fucking bandits. What are these guys doing?
I don't know, but he's going to try another strength check to tug you inward. So give me another strength check.
Good.
22. No, it doesn't work. He gets both of his arms wrapped around your hand, or both his hands wrapped around your arm, and does this like he's
I'm too strong.
tugging on he's like playing some tug of war. But I think you just dig your heels in, and you can just like flex your arm, and he's now just tugging on you.
Yeah.
And then you both go at 8. So Luther, you're the closest. Why don't you start us off?
Well, he's got hold of my right arm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get my left arm on him, and then I'm going to push him back and like pull my
You're just gonna
my right arm out.
Perfect. Opposed strength check, sir. He gets a
Faithful.
28, and you rip your hand free from him, and he kind of like loses his balance and tumbles back.
And then I
Onto
say
his feet?
sorry and slam the door. Let's go.
No,
Reach
hold
in
on.
and slam
That's my turn.
Oh, you wanna dagger him? All right.
Well, Pigeon,
Escalation.
it sounds like you're coming towards the gate as Luther's like throwing this guy off of him and reaching
I
for
throw
the
a
door.
dagger.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's not my magic dagger. I'd like to point that out because
Great.
didn't roll the magic dagger. It's
Great.
just a regular throwing dagger.
Get him.
17.
Oh, yeah, it goes well over Luther's head. You're on the horse, so like you've got
For 3.
extra aim. And it pings him square in the chest. Oof. He takes the damage with a grunt as the dagger sticks. It doesn't like stick in his shoulder. It grazes right over the top of him, cutting him fairly deeply, enough that like it's going to be a bitch of a shoulder for a couple of weeks.
Good.
Yeah, and he falls
Or
on his
for 3
ass
nights.
as well, right? As I shove him off.
Yes, he does.
And then as the dagger flies over, I shout sorry and slam the door.
Right.
I turn around wide-eyed and I say, all right, Pigeon, you've got a point. Let's go.
Let's get out of here.
I'm going to need you to make me another strength check to shut the door, though. I'm so sorry.
Ow. Oh, somebody else is holding it. Any strength checks? Oh, no. Finally, I miss.
Yeah. So I think you shove this guy off of you. Pigeon hits him with the dagger. He stumbles down, and you're like, I said sorry. And you go to get the door, and you give it like a tug, like it's an empty door, but it's actually like held by something. Your hand
Yeah.
grabs it and kind of like rips off of it momentarily.
Yeah.
As
Well,
the,
I leave it then. If he
Yeah.
doesn't want to... I mean, if somebody's holding it open... then
Yeah,
they can
there's
hold it
another
open.
person whose initiative is coming up right now. And so
Yeah.
as you're...
Well, I've got movement, so
You do?
I can get away back
Yeah.
to my horse. I might maybe not get on the horse, but get away from the door at least.
You turn your back, you start heading back to your horse.
Yeah.
Pigeon, you're looking over Luther's head from your horseback position as you see the door opens fully. And now there's just kind of like a scrawny, thin guy behind it with a short sword who starts running out the gate. He probably hasn't even seen what's out here with the short sword, and he's going to try and plunge it into Luther's
God.
back.
Do you have your
what the
leather
hell?
armor on, Nick?
Yeah.
You should probably fix your character token then.
Oh.
Because that's what Neil goes by.
Natural 20 on the die.
Hey, we used the
Doesn't
crit table in
matter.
this campaign.
Oh,
Yes,
we
we
do. Well, the damage is a 1 and a 4 for 5 points of damage.
Oh,
and
okay.
give me a saving throw versus death, which you're going to pass, so we don't need to bring out the table.
Surely. Well.
Well,
not
it's
too
only
bad,
a
though.
short sword. It's a size small weapon.
Medium. Yeah, I think short sword's small. Now that I,
I think
about
it's
it.
small. I think arming sword is medium, which is
I think
weird
5
because
damage, yeah. 5 damage.
5 big old damages. Yeah, it's a small weapon, so we need to roll a d6 on the crit table. That's only a 1, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it
fine.
doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Initiative?
It's initiative now. The 2 demon slayers with you are going to kick their horses into action because clearly we're in the midst of some trouble.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
I would like to remind you, I don't have the stats of my magic throwing dagger yet, so when I do throw it here, I'm gonna need, or you're gonna need to take into account that.
Yeah.
Classic.
always-
Don't
always
worry
does
about it. Listen, I take it into account every single time.
Yeah.
Literally. I remember every single time.
Okay,
course.
it looks
Yeah.
like McMouton is going first. You're throwing your magic dagger. Now, are you sure this is magic throwing dagger?
Yeah, we got it literally checked.
Good.
Okay,
I
I'm
remember.
throwing it, and I'm throwing it at the guy with the short sword who ran out.
Okay.
10 plus whatever.
Yeah. Fucking it hits him square in the chest.
For 1 plus whatever.
And I do believe these are daggers of returning. They return to you when thrown, right? No.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
No?
That I think you never told me. So, and I don't think
I
I've
never
thrown
told
it.
you?
So if it
Okay.
is, I'll take it.
I thought you said that you had it ID'd and they told you it was.
We had it
Oh, you didn't have it ID'd. You had it.
magic checked.
Okay, hold on. Here's my list: potions, dagger. Yeah, dagger of throwing. It's exactly what it says on my character sheet.
That's what I got. Yeah, magic throwing dagger.
Yep.
Does it return?
I'm looking up the literal description. I have a small note, but the note needs to reference a table.
Reference this. Points to penis.
Right to the weapons section, obviously. Ooh. Okay. 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 Okay.
What?
So you
I'm
throw
using
this
it-
dagger
yeah.
at this dude, right? This is probably your
Yeah.
first time actually using this in combat. And it flies from your hand. And it flies smooth and true. And you rolled a 10, which hits the unarmored person, because unarmored people
Yeah.
have 10 AC. When you throw daggers or axes or any sort of weapon, like, you put in an amount of heft and you expect to get an amount of range out of it. If you want to throw something farther, you actually have to throw a little bit harder, and you kind of have to change where you're aiming. If you need to throw farther, you kind of aim a little higher. You toss this dagger with the right amount of force and height to, like, hit a person 20 feet away from you. Not too terribly much. But it flows. It leaves your hand with, like, a lightness that you would use on a small rock, or not a small rock, but like a wadded up piece of vellum or something, or paper. It leaves your hand really light and easy. Like, you could put a lot more effort into it if you wanted to. But it also doesn't get slowed down by air resistance in the same way that throwing a rolled up piece of like a ball would. It flies smoothly, gracefully, like, beautifully. And then when it hits this kid, you know, like the last blow that Nick did, where it was just sort of like a graze across the shoulder, this one too doesn't really seem to do too much. It, like, hits him in the ear for that 1 point of damage, but he grabs his head, and as he turns back to face you, there's not just like a nick in his ear, there's like a huge slash that runs all the way across the side of his face. It is significantly more, it's a much bigger wound than at first it looked like it was going to be as it hit him.
Okay. I jump off my horse and I go into the fray to retrieve my dagger. I got my other dagger in one hand and I'm grabbing the magic.
Does it go into the room or does it hit the wall?
No, this guy's outside, so it hits him and then hits the ground right near him.
Okay.
That's
cool.
where I go. So
and
I
you
walk
run over and you get to your dagger. Fantastic.
Good.
Luther, you got a 6. So you're gonna go at the same time as this guy who just got hit in the face with this dagger.
This is the guy who stabbed me.
And the guy who stabbed you.
Yeah.
You're all going at the same time. And this dude, he's running. You know, he takes this blow in the face and he just turns his back and starts bolting towards the wall.
No opportunity attack, correct?
You don't have a weapon in hand.
No,
I said I had a dagger.
Actually, I
If you have a dagger in hand, because you're then you can make your opportunity attack, no problem. This is not a withdrawal. This is a run. This is
should be this one.
someone who feels like they're
17?
wildly outmatched, running for their life. That's a stab,
For 3.
and he will go face down in the dirt.
Interesting. How do I compare? I'll compare the bruises afterwards, I guess.
Luther, this guy just stabbed you in the back. Pigeon hit him with a dagger, and then jumped off his horse and ran over to get the dagger that he threw. You're standing next to the guy, like turning around, probably wounded in your back, as this guy's running away from you, and Pigeon is ramming him through the gut with a nice big long blade. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I like draw my sword as I turn around, and then I see him on the floor. I look over him into the building to see if there's anyone coming.
Yeah, the other guy who was on the ground, who had like been trying to drag you, and you ended up hitting in the Pigeon ended up hitting the shoulder. He is getting to his feet and going for the gate, like he's gonna shove it shut.
Yeah, I mean, like I think I kicked the guy over on the floor, so he's facing so I can see his face.
Oh yeah. Well, his eyes are just staring up at the sky.
Yeah, does he still have his weapon in his hand?
It's just fallen out when you rolled him over.
I stand on his right hand or his left hand, whichever one had close to the weapon, and then I put my right foot on his neck.
Mm-hmm. The guy on the inside gets to the gate, shuts it just as your 2 bodyguards start like riding up on their horses with their weapons drawn.
This is how you treat guests, friend. I'm stood on his throat, and then I put my sword down at him.
He's clearly dead already. Pigeon's blow killed him.
I murdered him, yeah.
Oh.
Yep. The gate gets shut on the inside, and it goes quiet.
Let's leave him. Come on.
That was... Ow. I sheath my sword and I get back on my horse.
Pick up my magic throwing dagger, put it in my spot, and I get on my horse and...
The bodyguards kind of look at you guys and look to themselves and goes, maybe we shouldn't be interacting with people on the road.
That's what I told him.
Seems kind of like a dangerous place.
I didn't know that everyone was so... I don't know. You're right. Yeah, good point. I should have known better. I should have known
Reach
better.
speaks up. I haven't spent that much time out of the city. This is surprising.
It is.
People are
Thank
crazy.
you. Thank you, Reach. Yeah. What the hell? Well, I guess the demon slayers really do keep us safe.
I mean, it's not just for nothing. We're not out there risking our lives every day for no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
You ever lived on the east side of town? Poof. North side of town? Poof. Terrible places.
Yeah. I lived pretty much most places over the years at some point. But even Redcoat territory is nice. You get a better welcome than with this lot.
I'll say. Still, fort with the word safe house, that's a pretty good trap.
I guess so, yeah. That's weird.
I was curious.
I mean, first off, it's not even a house. There's like more than one building in there. It's more of a courtyard. So,
if it said free gold, I would have thought it was, suspicious, but...
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, we both learned something today, Reach.
Yep. And as you're having this conversation, you can ride up to the bridge. The bridge that crosses the River Crux. On the other side, you can see the smoke rising from the people who live in Copper Hill, like just regular campfire or house fire smokes. You can hear the distant sound of dogs barking. There's a sign, a new sign that's been placed here with an arrow pointing towards Copper Hill, and another smaller sign underneath there that says, "You've almost made it."
Nice.
And this is where Angelica will tell everyone that it's time to turn off the road and follow the river.
All right.
What time of night is it?
It's like
how
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
How far away from Copper Hill, Angelica?
On horses? 20 minutes? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? I don't know. It's just right there. Just over the hill.
I catch up with Pigeon on the road.
I think the party stops at the crossroads near the bridge.
Oh, okay. Well, I go and speak to Pidge. Do you think maybe we should stay? Maybe we should stay here tonight. Make sure that Smelter's men see us here. Maybe we can find out a little bit about him and his family. Maybe it's too dangerous to go asking those kind of questions.
Yeah. Let's just keep going. We can come back.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Turning off the road, heading along the River Crux to the town of Fortune. This would be a perfect place to end for the day if we want to end in the next hour and a half.
I would like to not go on for that long.
Okay.
I know you wanted to do a bit longer, mate, but we can.
Yeah, I think anything more than this would leave us with an incomplete sense. This is a nice round turning spot, and when we come back next time on Hardly Heroes, we'll find out, hopefully, maybe, why Angelica said you gotta stay away from the zombies.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Well, thanks for watching.
We'll catch you guys next time on Hardly Heroes.